My grandparents were members of this church, and this sanctuary was built when my parents were college students. Having the opportunity of pastoring the church where 4 generations of my family have been members is really a very awesome experience. I had a very good view of educational institutions associated with the Society of Friends. The ethics of the Society of Friends in terms of service, in terms of social justice, in terms of human equality, even the silence and the discipline of listening. All of those were very important formative influences for me as a person, as an academician, and as a pastor. While I was working in Washington, I got the desire to take courses in Black theology at Howard University. And then I decided to transfer to Harvard. I completed my Master of Divinity degree there, and I stayed on at Harvard and did a Doctor of Theology degree in the field of religion and society. The position at Howard brought me back to 3rd Street Church of God. I became senior pastor of this church in 1997. We particularly focused on outreach to people who were unhoused, to the poor. They're coming into a community where we want to get to know their name, get to know their story, and to share with them in their celebrations and also in their sorrows. I grew up in a congregation and a denomination where we have never debated the equality of women and fitness of women for leadership. And it really was not until I went to divinity school that I encountered people who thought women couldn't preach. My educational exposure, sophomore Sidwell, you didn't have this idea that says men have to do everything and women can't. Not to mention the civil rights movement itself. I'm like, didn't we settle that back in the 60s? There was one church I went to, and when they called my name and I went to the pulpit, there was a standing ovation. And I was looking around and said, why are all these people clapping? They said, because we never had a woman in the pulpit before. Well, why didn't anybody tell me? One thing that drew me to Howard University is the fact that as a historically Black university, everybody sort of majors in disparities, observing them, analyzing them, and advocating for the remedying of disparities. And so at the Divinity School, we have a deep commitment to social justice. We equip students with theological literacy, information literacy, so they can interpret and respond to the injustices and deal with a diverse group of people. We don't just function in a Black context, but we are unapologetically African American in our history and in our emphasis. An important theme of our ministry here is reconciliation. You cannot have reconciliation without telling the truth about the past. Once you are willing to tell the truth about what happened in the past, you don't dwell there. You then ask yourselves, what kind of church do we want to become? What kind of society do we want to become? That's the radical reconciliation that I'm committed to and that we're committed to at 3rd Street Church. I want to see our society move in that same direction. People want to do away with reconciliation. Oh, that's kumbaya, whatever. Kumbaya means God is with us. And if God is with us, then we can move to a place where we can envision what we are wanting to become and then take steps, strategize to get there.